Hey, good morning. Welcome to the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well today. Today's We Team Wednesday, and I had a really tough time. And I'm holding up a hockey puck, and I got a football behind me. Actually, it works on my back, to be honest with you. I said, ooh, that feels good. Um, so I was having a tough time trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about for We Team Wednesday. And then I was reflecting on my son's hockey game. He's in a playoff game, and he's playing goalie. And I'm watching the team go to where the puck was. The whole team going wherever the puck was, they were going. And they leave the whole backside open. And to be honest with you, give me a heart attack. And this is our tough job of coaches. People on teams want to go do the things they want to do. They will gravitate like a moth to a flame to the shiny object, which in this case is the hockey puck. And the same applies to every sport, every team, every creation. They gravitate. But we as coaches have to coach them on position and covering positions and doing things they don't necessarily want to do. So I want to talk about that a little bit because I want to put some truth out there about sometimes they don't want to do, but we got to coach them that way anyhow. And we got to explain to why it's important and how to do it. And sometimes we got to do it right on the fly. So this 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And here we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very tactical and practical way so you can bring value to your customer, not work crazy hours, and have a little fun along the way. And like I said, talk about a fun topic. He won. He's got 2 more games to go. But it was an exciting game. It was like, dude, you're killing me. But it was a great hockey game. But one of the observations is, and I see this in teams all the time, whether they be developers or testers or report writers or product owners or business people or managers or whoever, support, DevOps, people building something as a cashier. I see this all the time in the big box stores, the grocery stores. When I was a kid, if you were working in a grocery store and they needed people at the cash register, everyone would go there. Whether it be a manager, stock person like I was, they would go up and run the cash register to help the customers get through the line. There was no question. That's not my job. That was never even thought of when I was growing up. But nowadays, I see lines grow long. I see managers sitting behind their desk, not getting up and helping the customer. Customer's job number one, and they don't understand that. But in the case of the hockey games, let's talk about this a little bit. So in the hockey game, the puck I'm watching, and everyone would go wherever the puck was. If the puck was over here, it was like 5th grade soccer, 5-year-old soccer. They would all gravitate to the puck. If the puck was over here, they would all kind of graduate over there. And maybe one person would stay behind if we were lucky. Problem was the other team had people on the other side waiting for the puck to come their way, and they would have a clean shot at my son, who was poor guy playing at goalie, and he had no defense. And our job as coaches, like, spread it out, get away, we got to coach them to cover everything, even though they want so badly to be on the puck, put their stick on the puck and be offensive and have that play on the puck so they can get the credit for it. We as coaches have to coach them that that's not always what you need to do, right? You need to spread it out. Some people, there's a fast break. Everyone doesn't have to go on the fast break. We need some people playing defense. And the same thing goes with their teams. Just because your primary job is to develop code doesn't mean we can't use you to test some code, do some troubleshooting, do other things on the team, because it goes at a whole T shape, And the reason why I bring this up, people think that everyone wants to be T-shaped, but they don't. They resist it, right? And our job as coaches and Scrum Masters is to try and help with that, right? We need to, coach them in a way and things, and they're going to grumble. They're going to hem and haw, and they're going to complain. Like, they want to go after the puck, right? They want to do their thing. If they're a tester, I want to write my automated test. I just want to run my test cases. I don't want to worry about the other stuff. Those are the kind of questions you're going to get all the time, but you have to explain to them, well, if we have everyone here developing code and knowing testing the code, then we can't get the code to production. If we develop this whole entire solution and don't go sharing it with the customer at some point before we deliver, we may have done all that work for nothing. And the same thing was going with the hockey game. They were up 2 goals, and they went and got laxed on the defense, and they had a 3-1 on my son. And I was like, well, he's going to lose his battle because no one got back on defense, right? They didn't do a thing they should have been doing, covering that position, that stuff that needs to be done. And therefore, they almost lost the game. They tied it up and got down to the last 2 minutes of the game. And, a couple goals were scored, which was great because he won. But the whole time was like, you could have kicked tail. You could have really won this game really well if you only played your position. And our job, and it's a tough job. And the reason why I'm saying this, I want to say sometimes it's easy, but a lot of times it's hard. It's hard to be a coach, hard to be a scrum master, hard to, from an individual perspective, to drop your favorite thing and go do something else because your team needs it, right? And our job, and this is why I'm doing this on We Team Wednesday, because it's a team activity. I mean, if they had all 5 people on the puck and 2 or 3 people, 2 other people were on the other side, those 2 other people aren't covered, right? And there's no way. What if someone shot the puck over to those 2 people? You're done. It's just absolutely done. So if everybody wants to get the glamour role, let me develop something. Everyone wants to do the testing role, or the automated test or show off the product, you're done. And this is why you got to get everyone on the team has to be able to show the product off. They all need practice. They all got to be practicing what they're doing. I mean, this same philosophy applies in baseball, let's say, or football. And that's why I had the football, but right now I'm using it on my back. It works great. It's my experimental solution. So, but in baseball, a ball gets hit out in the outfield. Second base or shortstop, depending where it goes, will cover the cutoff person in the game, and then the other player has to cover the base. They may want to be the cutoff person. They all might want to run out there and help. Third base, what happens if third base or first base goes out and help do cutoff as well? Well, then the player who's running around the bases can keep on going because there's no one covering third base. And maybe if they go to third base, your pitcher has to cover third base because the third base person wasn't covered second or did something else. Now you got a chance to hurt your pitcher. So this is where they may not want to do it, but they have to understand the positions, and they have to understand that every position is important, and somebody on the team has to cover that position, right? They may not think it's their job to cover it may not be the glamorous job. Maybe their glamorous job is to get the puck or develop the code or to do the testing or find the bug or run UAT or do something that you're doing with the customer, writing requirements in it. But they all have to contribute, and they all have to understand all the positions on the team, and that sometimes they have to not be going for the puck all the time and cover those positions that are opening, right? Same thing with security. Like, oh, it's somebody else's job to do security checks and stuff like that. Well, maybe sometimes you got to do that. You got to take the concern. I have to understand what the security checks are because I probably should be doing that in the team environment and not just on the full integration across the corporation. So it's our job as Scrum Masters and Agile coaches and coaches in general to coach people to see all these other positions and how there are times when they have to cover them. And they're not going to like it. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Your teammates are not going to want to cover positions they don't like. They're going to complain. I wanted to use another word. They're going to complain and hum and haw. Oh my God, I don't want to do it. I don't want to sound like a fifth grader, right? So they're going to sound like that, but they do need to understand it, and they do need to be coached to cover that. And every once in a while, you need to rotate them around. They're going to complain. Well, why am I paying that position? Because, there's times you have to understand what each position goes into. So that's what I want to share today on We Team Wednesday. Just note that as a coach, it's not always easy. And there's times when you have to force people to be in a position that they don't want to be. And you have to coach them through it. They may not want it and they're going to complain. Trust me, they're going to complain. I am the lead developer. I'm the database person. I am this. I am that. I don't do that. You know what? Everyone's going to cover it. And you can give the baseball analogy with the hockey puck. What happens if everybody decided they're the database person or everyone decided they're developer? Then all this other stuff is not covered and we get nothing. And the other team scores the goal. Same thing in baseball. Same thing in football. The tight end in football. They got to cover the outside and the person with the ball if they're running towards them. And if they all pop down on the quarterback with the ball, the quarterback pitches it off or does a screenplay to someone on the outside and they go score a touchdown. They have to have discipline, and we have to coach that discipline. And I'm going to tell you right now, no one loves to do the discipline part. So, my back's killing me. Anyway, I want to say you have a great day. I'm going to go figure out what to do with my back, but think about that. I want to encourage you, if you have any questions, we have our Slack channel. You can join our Slack channel to ask those questions. Feel free and happy. It's free for anybody who joins the newsletter to join the Slack channel. And if you have questions, how do I deal with this or whatever, or you want to share some things with other Agile coaches and Scrum people and Agile people, I think they're more than welcome. They're more than happy to help give their experiences. And don't forget about tonight. We have our meetup with Carl Freiberg. He's going to talk about goal setting and priorities. It's going to be a nice little group of people. Hopefully we'll get everyone in. Don't forget, you got to sign up for the Zoom. I got to pre-authorize you to get access because I don't want, people hacking the Zoom call. So I had to put some restrictions on the meetup. So I hope you can join us. There's still time to join up the meetup. I'm going to try to do the social media thing. Hope to see you there. And I want to wish you all a great day and happy scrumming. Take care. Bye, everyone.